So I'm going to work up this case. It's going to be an all-on-4 immediate load. So I plotted out the implants, and I'm going to immediate load on multi-unit abutments with a denture conversion. I could have taken an impression and scanned the impression and meshed the impression together, and then I could have a solid model. Instead, what I'm going to do, since I want a bone model instead of a tooth-borne model, I'm going to bring this into segmentation, and I'm going to go advanced jaw segmentation. And all I need to do now is press shift key and highlight the area of what I want to segment. And mostly what I need to capture here is the bone. I'm not so concerned with the teeth, but I can pick up the teeth. And then we'll do is click next. This is going to take some time to think, and essentially I'm going to speed through this whole entire process, but let you watch what I'm doing. I'm going to press Intelligent Lasso, hold down the shift key, circle the area that I want to highlight, and let the computer think for a little bit. And then what we do is press fill holes, right? And I'm going to continue on. It's going to ask me for 18 slices. I can actually just scroll here and pick up an extra slice or two if I wanted to be a little bit more precise, and continue to scroll through and get a bunch more images. So I'm going to keep doing this for a little bit until we run into a little issue. And you'll see, in fact, this will be the first one. So what I'm going to do is press, it didn't fill all the holes, right? So what I need to do is click on brush, press shift, hit it back here. It's not picking up somewhere, so I'll press fill holes again, and now it filled it all up. So I'll click next, go back to Intelligent Lasso, circle this whole entire area, let it think, fill holes. You see where it's missing back here, so all I have to do is click on brush, shift, and then fill holes once again. I can even just click this. This is not going to be so important to me back here, but I can fill it in if I want to. So going to next, Intelligent Lasso, circling all of this, fill holes, and then I'll come back to my brush, press shift key, and fill all this in. Now I'm not sure what this is right here, so I'm going to hold out from filling that in. It doesn't appear to be bone. Yeah, it's definitely not bone. So I'm going to definitely not fill that in. All these extra spots out here, the computer is not going to read that. It's going to eventually throw that away. So I guess this is the lower mandible that that has atrophy. So fill holes. Everything's going well. Brush, shift key. Fill this in. Next, Intelligent Lasso, shift. I'm gonna fill holes. Let's see. Brush, shift, fill this in. Let's see. Next. I'm not really concerned about this, but I'll just do it anyway. These are teeth. I'm gonna wind up cutting these out in plain cut tool. You'll see that in a little bit. I'm using my brush. Try to fill this in. Next. Not really worried about that. So now we're going to go to the cross-sectional. Same thing with Intelligent Lasso. We'll circle this whole area. Let it think for a second. This takes some time. You have to give the computer a moment or two to think. And then I'll continue the same process I did for the coronal portion with the sagittal portion, and I'll just kind of speed through here with filling holes, adding in with my manual brush, and I'll let you see how this goes. I'm going to get around 20-something slices. I'll probably get a little bit more than that just to make sure it's real accurate. All right, I'm going to go ahead and speed through everything. So once it's all done, you'll get an image that looks something like this. You want to immediately save this. You don't want to lose any of this data. This is pretty much a large file. We're not done with creating the STL yet, but I definitely want to save what we've traced out. Once that's saved, I'll feel a little bit better. So what I'll do is press smooth, and then we'll actually inflate this just a hair. And then we'll go ahead and tell the software to create an STL surface of this model. So now if you go into, you can see we just created it. Now if you go into surfaces, you can click off the STL, or you click off the DICOM, you can see we have a STL file of this. Another way of doing this, something a little bit different, if you go into surfaces, you go into isolate, just isolate the lower surface. It's pretty easy to do. Then you just have this one file, and you can just say, hey, look, this file right here, whatever it is a model, so just go ahead and create a model. And the software will also create a model based on that. So now we have this density model, and we also have this bone model. You can see the difference between them. I'll probably still use the bone model and not the density model. They're both pretty good. I'd be happy with using both of them. This is easy to do in the mandible. This is a whole different ball game to do in the maxilla. I definitely recommend outsourcing this project in the maxilla. It is not worth your time and effort to try to figure this all out. So now all we got to do is draw the guide for bone reduction. I'll show you how that's done, and we'll start figuring out how to place our implants and where we're going to put these implants after the bone reduction guide is done.